certified clinical hypnotherapist who specializes in stress management. Trina's outside interests include Zumba and creating art. She currently has one fur baby named Beatrix. Trina had a private practice for 15 years and receives many referrals from doctors. Trina is passionate about her work and as a trauma survivor herself feels called to share leading-edge tools. She's helped people overcome anxiety, including panic attacks, and conquer fears and phobias. Trina has helped many people manage life transitions, such as losing a loved one or a job. Please join me in welcoming Trina.
Good morning. Okay, I'm setting my timer here. So I want to start by, well, thank you, Rebecca, for that introduction. Appreciate it. So this is my website, and if you haven't visited it, I welcome you to come in and drop by and check out what I do. So today, my title is Tend to Our Soil to Pivot with Courage and Confidence. Don't we all need that right now? So I believe that challenging times are an invitation for an inventory of our lives, our health, as well as our relationships, including our relationship with ourselves. As you may have noticed, it is not easy for most of us to see our own radiance. In fact, it's often easier for us to see what's wrong with us, and unfortunately, this leads us to feeling weighed down by these heavy criticisms toward ourselves. For example, I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not attractive, I hate my body shape, and I'm a lousy communicator. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Oh my gosh. So with all the pivoting that we need to be ready for today, feeling empowered, confident, and being a great communicator are crucial to our resiliency and to our success. This is a watercolor I did to emphasize this topic. So today I have a client success story for you, and it includes a courageous dive into an inner garden. The client example is a compilation of the many, many women and men that I've worked with over the last 15 years. So I'm going to call this fellow Aaron. He came to my Walnut Creek office, and after COVID hit, of course, we've been meeting on Zoom. So Aaron came in and he was struggling. He had major digestive issues and insomnia. And even though he was successful in business, he had a family that loved him, and he owned a beautiful home, Aaron felt like he was never enough. And in fact, I found out from just a couple of visits that Aaron had a very nasty, gnarly inner critic. And this monkey on his back might look familiar if any of you relate to this. And you can see that this little character has its toenails dug into his shirt and his skin. It's pointing at what he's trying to work on. You can see from his furrowed brow that he is not having a good time, whatever he is working on, because he has this slush of negativity. So his heart closes down like a prison because it's a very toxic little character on his shoulder. So the good news is that I offered tools so Aaron could tame this gnarly beast. And he got it on its back. So he became the alpha dog. If you've ever seen a dog get another dog, a more submissive dog, on its back, where it is just belly up, that's what we need to do with our inner critics. So we find out what they are angry about, what they are afraid of. And that is the key, the fear, because they're a protector. And let me tell you, I have worked with thousands of people's inner critics, and the bottom line is they are all trying to protect us. And sometimes it's in a very toxic, unproductive way. So we want to tame them, open our hearts to them with compassion, and you can see how tenderly he's holding that little foot. So that's a complete, he took his power back from this part of himself. Aaron's EQ, his emotional intelligence, skyrocketed during our work, and he explored his inner landscape. This is a diagram I created for my book, Stress Reduction Journal, so that people could really begin to understand their emotions and create balance. So sometimes people come in and they're stuck in the power zone. They don't want to look below the soil into their vulnerability, or they come in completely vulnerable and they need more power. They need to set more boundaries and limits. So when we find ourselves prickly with the little prickly cactus, I'm from Arizona, so this totally fits. It's important to look at what is going on above ground and below ground. So Aaron's soulful soil strengthening, that's a tough one to say fast. It totally paid off. Number one, he cultivated great communication skills. And this improved his relationships with his clients, his colleagues, as well as with his wife and kids. So it was going to be a trickle-down effect of role modeling for his children, which is fantastic. He tamed his inner critic and began treating himself with compassion. Number three, he understood his emotions and he no longer had stress-related digestive issues or insomnia. And four, his confidence began to form blossoms. So you can see this path is very colorful. And this is why I absolutely love my work, because I have the honor of holding space and offering tools so that people can transform anxiety, sometimes panic and phobias, into courage, regret and grief and loss into acceptance, and passivity into action, so they can live their purpose. So who do you know that's ready to release the burdens that they are carrying and tend to their soil to pivot with courage and confidence and love themselves through whatever life brings? I have a little poem there. Today's a new day to water my inner garden and nourish myself with tender, loving care. These would be great referrals. And finally, I would like to thank everyone who has referred closed business to me. That includes Kristen and Joanne and Fariba, Rebecca, Miley, Deborah, Denise, Karen, Steve, Joel, Brian, and Wade. Thank you so much. And in closing, I look forward to all of us supporting one another's pivoting and heartfelt success. And with that said, according to my timer, I have another brief moment. So I would like to take this time to invite all of you to take a nice deep breath and just let your energy settle into the chair you're sitting on, settle into your feet, and feel your hands and your shoulders, and just say hello to the body, because often we get very much up here like a hamster in a wheel, and it's so good to come home to the center. So thank you again, everybody in this group.